Well, good morning and welcome to our devotional time. It's great to see you today, and I hope all things are going well for you and you have a great week. I wanted to continue. I'd been talking a little bit about Genesis and maybe jumped out a minute, but I want to go right back to our Genesis, the creation story. And one of the things that I've been pondering as I've looked at the story is just looking at the different words that are used to describe to God's actions, the verbs. And I thought I'd look at the first verb in the first book of the Bible that was used to describe God. And the first verb is a Hebrew word, bara, and it's translated in our English as created. Obviously, you would think of that. But there's so much more to it, and I've written it down here. Bara means to create in a way an artist or a sculptor creates. It's first like roughing out and these, like the bold strokes an artist would take, or a carver and cutting and then the idea of not only the rough cuts to get the shape out of the art, whether it be painting or a sculpture, but then moves into carving in the informing, the detail, trimming, touching up, and polishing. And that's the idea of bara. It's a holistic. It's starting with the creation, but continuing on until it's perfect. And what a word to be used to describe our Lord, and what a perfect word for us to remember that's exactly the artist. The creator of the heaven and earth is working on each of us, and he won't stop until it's finished. And as I was looking at that word, I couldn't help but look at a few more words that we're introduced verb-wise in who God is. And so I thought I would just read a few of these verbs that I caught hold of here that describe God for the very first time. This is his character. This is who he is. And we were introduced to God in Genesis as Elohim. It's just God. It's kind of almost like the man upstairs. It's a very generic name. And it takes, I think, the rest of the scriptures to discover who God really is, to get more and more personal. But it's amazing the verbs that are used, the words that are used here to describe God. Amar, another English word, or Amar, in its translation is he spoke. And so we're introduced to a God who speaks. Badal, he divided. Kara, he called. Raha, he looked or perceived and saw. Asa, he built. And that becomes a really important word throughout Genesis, actually, that Hebrew word asa, he built. Quava, he gathered. Natan, he established and set in place in motion or he gave. Barak, I'm sure a lot of us are kind of familiar with that. He blessed. And he released from restriction and limitation and commissioned, and he empowered. That's Barak. There's a whole lot in that word. But blessed is our best translation. But in that idea of blessing, keep in mind that released from limitations, commissioned, empowered is a part of that meaning as well. Kala, he finished out, he made complete, he made it presentable, so to speak. That's the meaning there. And then the last Hebrew word I ran across here at the very beginning, Shabbat. And I imagine many of us have heard that word before as well. He ceased, he desisted, got still, he took a seat and rested. So those are some of the words, descriptive words of our God, and what a powerful introduction in Genesis we have as we begin to discover who our Lord is. And I just thought maybe you'd be interested in that today and could ponder that through the week, who our God is. Well, I pray that you find peace this week and you can rest in his loving arms and just discover more and more who God is as you go through the week. With peace of Christ, we'll talk to you soon. Bye now.